Today we are going to look at customs and usage through the eyes of ancient wisdom. In general, what is a usage and how does usage turn into a custom? Suppose there is a meadow, full green, and I decide to walk through it. That is my usage of the ground. I keep walking through that meadow. Over a period of time, a footpath is created through the middle of the meadow, and that would say a custom of walking through the meadow has been created. So usage over a period of time gets converted into a custom. But interestingly, the logic behind the custom or the logic behind the usage may be totally different. Over a period, the logic that is inherited keeps changing, so much so that the logic after a few hundred years of usage completely differs from the logic that was there at the beginning of the period. How? That we'll see with the help of couple of examples. One of my cousins, retired Rear Admiral Avinash Telang, was on a high post in Dabhol working on a power project. From his experience, he shared with me, he said in Konkan area there are separate crematoriums for separate castes. So one particular village or a town may have as many as 5 or 6 separate crematoriums. Now, from the usage or from the custom, the people from that particular caste would be going to that particular crematorium to cremate the bodies of their people who have passed away. But how did this custom originate? This custom originated from the ancestor worship, which is an integral part of our dharma. In a year, 28 days are dedicated to ancestors, as we have seen before. And even the biggest festival that we have, Diwali, has a night dedicated to ancestors, which is Kali Chaudas. On this day, ancestor worship is performed in crematorium. Yes, that is where you first light a diya. Also, crematorium is not all that bad as in Hinduism, because the Lord Shiva resides there. So, ancestor worship is worship of the Kula Purush, or the first person from whom the Gotra, the Kala, the Kula, the family, they started. And that is why, if there has been no designated place in the location or in the city to burn your dead, you would find your own place, and that also would be a place to do ancestor worship. Over a period of time, this will develop into separate places, apparently for separate caste, but it is not for separate caste, it is for separate kula, and it has happened over a period of time. So, a custom which started differently, today it is perceived totally differently. Let's take another example. In temples in Goa, after the evening aarti is performed, the pujari comes out with the prasad and he says, Koni Prabhu asta. So if there is any Prabhu, he stands up and he gets the prasad first. Then the pujari says, "Koni naik astao." Then naik, if any naik is there, he stands up and gets the prasad, and then everybody else. So over a period of time, this is being perceived as the man or the status of Prabhu or Naik. Whereas, where did the tradition start? And when it started, the names were not names, but they were adjectives. The first one was not Prabhu, it was Parabhu. And Parabhu means a person who has come from outside to the temple, that is maybe the next village, and he is a atithi here, he is a guest here, so he should be the one who would get the prasad first. Then comes the naik. Naik means the person who is looking after the security, safety of the village where the temple is, and where he would be? He would be outside the temple, looking after the security and safety, and that is why he should be provided the prasad first. And who are the remaining people? The remaining people are the ones who are from the temple itself. So they are the family, direct family, and that direct family partakes the prasad after everybody else, that is the atithi or the people from outside have partaken the prasad, have had the prasad in with them, and then whatever remains is shared by the people who are in the temple. Such a beautiful creation or such a beautiful usage or custom, but today it has turned into the status symbol for the Naiks and the Prabhus. Those who understand this don't go into the status point, but those who don't understand, they still feel that way. So these are two examples where the usage was different and the custom was different. We will go to a third one and an interesting custom which was narrated by Pradeep Chakravarti in one of his lectures. Talking about temples in South India, he said that somebody would want to donate lamps for the temple. In those days, the lamps would be the lamps lighted by ghee. But the temple wouldn't accept direct money. What they would say to this person, yes, we would light a Deepamar. Deepamar is the big column right in front of the temple where all these diyas are kept and lighted. In your name, every day or maybe once a week or whatever, and for this purpose we would require this much of ghee. What that person would do is he would back calculate as to how much milk would be required for having that much of ghee and how many cows for that much milk, and he would donate that many cows to the temple. The temple in turn would give those cows for safekeeping to a person staying in the next village. Why in the next village? I will come to that later. This person would look after the cows, get the milk, make ghee out of it, and bring it to the temple at regular intervals. He keeps the milk, he also keeps cows if there are any extra, and he also keeps the ghee if there is any extra. He gives the temple what is required for lighting the lamps, and rest is his property. Of course, if one or two of the cows die, it is his responsibility to make good the loss. And interestingly, this kind of work would be done in the Panchakroshi, that is 5 villages around the temple. Thus, a number of people staying in the Panchakroshi would get their daily life wherewithal because of the temple. somebody would be providing flowers, somebody would be getting milk for the temple, somebody would be getting other supplies, and that is how the transportation and the development and the growth would occur in the Panchakroshi, and the temple would be the center of activity of that particular Panchakroshi. Such a beautiful custom was practiced in South India not very long ago. So this is what we have seen. We have seen usage and custom. We have seen how the logic behind the usage changes when it goes into a custom, and then many a times it deteriorates. So whenever you see a custom, do question it, but do go to the roots of it and understand the reason it started, and see how beautiful that reason was or how constructive that reason was. Namaskar.